Jumpstart. What is Jumpstart, you're asking?
I don't know.
Welcome. Welcome to Break Room Conversations. The gang is back and we have a special addition to our group. We have Colton here. Colton is one of the creators of Jumpstart, and we are here to kind of give you like a play-by-play of what it is and why we feel that it's important for you as not only an owner, but also as a newer stylist too. So Tatum, Colton, what's Jumpstart?
Well, thanks for having us on today. We are actually filming some content right now in the studio for Jumpstart, and so we are going to have this conversation. I'm like, why don't we just get Colton in here because she kind of wrote the curriculum for the cutting segment of Jumpstart. So, Jumpstart is sort of the idea around it has been sort of like kind of percolating for a minute, and really I feel like there's a bit of a need for people who are recent graduates, soon to be graduates from cosmetology school, or maybe you haven't been working behind the chair for a while. Let's say you've been out of work with maybe a kid or the pandemic or whatever, right? And you just need a kind of refresher, or you need to sort of bridge that gap between cosmetology school where you're essentially told what kind of haircuts and colors to do in specifics. Do a panel of this color or do 3 foils here, and you're told a lot of information, which is great because when you're starting out it's a little it's nerve-wracking. You want to be sort of told what to do, but what is it like when you leave that environment and get behind the chair and you go from discussing what to do with your educator and the educator saying do this technique, and all of a sudden you've got a client and they say, I saw this picture off of Instagram and I want to do this. What do you do? And so the critical thinking skills and components of Jumpstart are actually really important and a very vital part of the education. The other thing is really the technical and how to do the colors, how to do the cuts, how to think about coloring a haircut and cutting a color. And I want Colton to talk about what does it mean to learn a technique, a balayage, a foil, a pixie cut, around graduation. What does it mean to learn that technique versus a haircut?
Yeah, that is exactly what Jumpstart is, and just training the mind to think about hair in a different way outside of cosmetology school, and to really think about why you are choosing certain techniques, why are you doing what you're doing to create a certain look, and understanding techniques to create looks, so that it's really more of an understanding on how to cut hair, not just learning haircuts. So understanding hair as a material, and if you choose to do one technique, you know the effect you're going to have on the hair, and understanding the looks that those get helps, back to Tatum's point of when you see a picture you go, oh, that looks like a bob with layers. I know exactly what techniques to be able to achieve that. So it's more of an advanced training than cosmetology school, and within that it's bread and butter techniques in the salon that somebody new would need to just get going and have some basic skills and confidence in foil, balayage, a single process color, and then a long layer, a bob, and pixie. Just controlling those proportions, and then within that, just understanding all the nuances and intricacies of hairlines, texture, density, going into consultations, how to ask the right questions, what you're looking for. So there's a lot involved in it, and there's a lot of little details that make it more specific and make your mind start to think about why you're doing all the things you're doing.
Yeah, that's a great way to sum it up, and she really just said it perfectly. It's bread and butter techniques, or gluten-free bread and vegan butter techniques that are really like 90% of what you're doing in the salon. So it's advanced, but it's not like we're not doing crazy asymmetry and disconnection and stuff like that. It's just really what's gonna be coming to you, most likely coming to you on the salon floor, so you can have that confidence to execute. That's the biggest challenge we have coming out of hair school is, our hands have been held the whole time, which is great. We need that at first, but then when that's not there and I have a client, how do I what do I do? How do I project confidence? We know when someone walks up to you, they don't have that confidence, and the guest feels that energy, and that's not productive. So how can we instill a little bit of confidence? How can we give you just some classic techniques that are going to get you through the day, get you for your first 6 months to a year, and hopefully open up the door in the mind to more future education that will explore concepts that are a little bit more avant-garde, but maybe are more fun and creative and less, actually, this is my clientele.
And even for a stylist that maybe is established and has been in the salon for a couple of years, I think it's always nice to come back to the space where you've got the time to really focus on why you're doing what you're doing. Why am I holding my hands a certain way? Why am I sectioning the hair in a certain way? How do I better control the hair that I'm working with to work more efficiently? Because when you're in the salon and you're busy, you don't have the luxury of time and you don't have the space to really think about those things. So the space provided for education, even if it is classic techniques, I think is important for someone even who has a couple of years of experience in the salon.
Totally. I mean, classic, I don't mean to, is that a bad word? I just mean like these are things, fundamental, like this is, and what I like is the play off of that. So for example, with the bob, you're learning 3 different techniques in one haircut, right? You're learning how to really execute a great precise line. You're learning a little bit of horizontal graduation, which sounds scarier than it is. It's actually not scary, but which kind of will cause the hair to sort of bevel under and have that beautiful soft silhouette that people typically want, and then how to layer that without disrupting the shape too much. So you get 3 different techniques or haircuts, if you will, inside one haircut, and then you can expand and extrapolate those and use any one or all 3 or any combination with any particular bob that walks in, and that to me is really powerful. And the pixie is the same way. Talk about the pixie cut and kind of your approach and how it can be used across different styles.
The pixie, that what we had in mind the whole time when we were creating these haircuts is how can we get the most out of it, and also how can it be the most approachable. So for the pixie, for example, there's basically 2 different types of women that wear short hair. Sometimes it's longer and looser, softer hairlines. Sometimes it's tighter and shorter and cleaner. So we go into both. And how do you refine the shorter, softer hairlines without, totally cleaning it up, and also without it looking messy? And then also, how do you tighten it up and how do you graduate it to make it even sharper and tighter? So we go into the different options as well. I think that will empower a stylist to make choices.
Yeah, and we cover texture a little bit as well, and how to handle a curly shape, a high curl, high texture shape to a softer curl, which is nice. So again, it's not everything. It's 2 weeks long. The cut's just 1 week. So what it really does is it gives a lot of options, a lot of like structure and foundation. And again, back to that critical thinking skills. How do I look at a photo and figure out what to do from there? You've got 2 cutters on right now. We've talked a lot about cutting. I don't want to sort of discount what Katie has done with the color component, which I sat in on, and I've been a hair cutter almost my entire career, except for hair school, really. Right. And I feel like I know color and I get it. Boy, I was just blown away at how it helped me think about cutting differently, and sitting on that class, and how much I learned about my own discipline about hair cutting while watching Katie teach and go through those motions. I know, Alberto, you actually got to spend a little bit of time with Katie and sat in on some of the colors. Do you want to talk about the color component a little bit and what students can expect from that and how that translates to behind the chair and in the salon world?
Yeah, I have so many thoughts and opinions on the program from what I've witnessed. And it was really funny, you were talking about how I've been a cutter and I've been a colorist, but even watching Colton, I forgot what it was you were talking about now. It was something in Dallas. You were talking about describing layers, and I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. And it like totally connected for me as a colorist. And I was like, wow, finally I understand that, which is really weird. Something I never really wanted to understand. But we talk about fundamentals, like we use words like that in classics, but what we all have to kind of like remember is, the things of like mastery and things that are advanced come from the fundamentals, and it's just manipulating those in a different way. So like the only difference between a master and somebody that's starting out is the master has more practice at the fundamentals. And just witnessing this program from the color and the cut, it really does take you back to think a little bit about the application that you're about to do, how it falls on the hair. I'm talking about the color right now. And so it gets you really thinking about the process of what you're looking at when it comes to a consultation. So that's when I've witnessed this with some of the participants and even the educators, like you can see it like finally connecting from the questions that they ask. They're not like broad general questions, they're more direct questions. And that to me says that they understand the material and they're trying to understand it further, as opposed like, I'm lost, I need to ask this general question. So it's really cool. It's amazing. I wish that I had it when I started doing hair 25 years ago. But yeah.
One of my things that I liked about the color component was, for me, like, if someone comes in and they say, you know, I want some movement and texture, my default is, how do I cut that, right? But what if someone wants a lot of movement, a lot of texture, and they have fine hair? Well, what do I do there? Because I can't put in a lot of layers because I'm going to compromise the overall strength and structure of the hair. Well, I never thought about it. Well, I could color the hair in a way. I could put some panels in there. I could maybe do some wide stroke balayage, and that will give the feeling and the effect of texture and movement, and I can keep the hair density the same. So I can essentially do a one length bob, have her go to color or do color that's going to give her the look from the photo she wants, and I keep the integrity of the hair there. And so this is the kind of, you know, progressive, out of the box thinking, that interplay between cut and color, getting outside the box, critical thinking that you're going to learn and really open up with this class, that I haven't seen in all my years of teaching and being in this world, laid out so clearly, so succinctly, and fusing those concepts so beautifully together. It's 2 weeks. And look, here's the deal. If you're an Aveda student right now and you're going to go to an Aveda salon, you can get this class for free, you know, and I think that's really brilliant. It's certainly open. It's $3,000 if you want to purchase it, and you get a cool Elevate kit. You want to show them your brush, so you get a cool kit. Most of the money for the kit is for the mannequin heads, but you get great Elevate hair branded stuff, and like I said, if you're going into an Aveda salon, it's free. So this is a great opportunity for anyone who is working with the Aveda Network and wants to do it. And honestly, if you're not and you want to take this class, 2 weeks and $3,000 is actually a great way to start your career, and a very low investment for the amount of knowledge and confidence you're going to get out of this class. So Stephanie, did we sum it up for you?
Yeah, we definitely. And, you know, I love hearing about this every single time, because for how I'm looking at it, outsider looking in, you know, as a student that's just graduated, you're in school and there's a lot going on. And so there's a lot of things that you may have missed. And I feel that this program, and based off of the surveys that we've received from past participants, is that it truly does build that confidence. So you're zoning in on, you know, the fundamental, the core skills that you need. So the confidence boosting has been amazing, because it is scary when you graduate school and all of a sudden you're out in the big world and you got to catch up. And this really has helped students to and stylists to kind of, I don't know if fast track's the right word, but it really gets them up to speed. And I know our owners have been excited about it. I got an awesome review yesterday saying that their stylists were able to just go right onto the floor and open their books. They started training and they were able to start like perfectly. They didn't have to do any extra work with them. So it's been really neat as far as a confidence booster and what it's really doing to help and to be in an Aveda salon and not have to, you know, to pay the $3,000. That's awesome. So yeah, I do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day. I know y'all are doing some cool stuff over there in Hammond. Is there anything else that you want to leave us with? And
I mean, it looks like our internet's getting weird, so hopefully all that came through.
It did. No, it's great.
But like it is right now. And yeah, we're gonna get back to filming. I'm gonna go yell at my tech crew for giving me bad internet. But obviously, thanks Colton for input. And
Hi Colton, thanks guys.
And for everyone to know, we are sold out for our September class for Austin, Houston, and Nashville. We do have room open in New Orleans, Dallas, and Birmingham, but those are starting to fill up this week. So if you have any interest, please let us know. And that is it. You guys have a great week. We'll see y'all next week on Break Room Conversations. Bye.
Bye.